And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA and the Big1050.com. That's right, Devin. I have to concentrate to let people know who we are now, the Big 1050 WTKA. Feels fitting because we got to keep up with you because you're big time. So since you're so big time, we gotta be the Big 1050, right? DG, welcome back. Our Monday morning quarterback on the number 2 crew.
3.
It's number 3. Okay, I'm sorry. But it's still you're moving up. You're climbing a ladder, right?
I am climbing. I'm taking the stairs, you know?
Yeah.
Just, a lot of hard work, a lot of grinding, a lot of preparation, and just trying to be ready for opportunities. You're a forcer. You try to force things. I don't force things. I just let things come as they do and try to be prepared for opportunities.
Brother, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
Hey, man, you making it happen.
Yeah.
You making it happen. When you do well, I feel like that's us.
We all did well.
We're making it happen.
Everybody, all the faithful listeners on going to the StreamYard, everybody wins.
That is outstanding. Well, folks, you know who makes this happen? The Monday Morning Quarterback. It is brought to you by our friends at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. You see it here, you see it here, you see it there, you see GTR. No truer north than Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. It is we make a pilgrimage every single fall and summer. It is the place to go when you want to have a vacation right here in the state of Michigan, whether you're going for a golf outing. I was asking Ira, I said, how deep into the year will they be having golf at Grand Traverse Resort? Ira was like, they might even go into December.
Last couple of years, we've been there in November, and I've golfed. And now we've had unbelievable, 70-degree kind of freaky weather days to go up there. But they keep the golf courses open, and they'll close kind of one by one as the season dictates. But one by one, they go into November. And if it stays warm enough, if the ground doesn't start to really freeze, you could have them open until December. And a little chilly, a slightly cold ground, the ball goes further, Sam.
Yeah, 3 great golf courses up there. 3 guys, and of course, even though I'm not a golfer, I'm partial to the Wolverine, Mr. Weintraub.
The Bear's a great golf course, but it is designed by a Buckeye, so I'm partial to the Wolverine as well. The Bear might be the hardest challenge. The Wolverine is really fun too. They're both great golf courses. Spruce Run's really nice. But the Wolverine is called the Wolverine. The other one is designed by Buckeye.
Yeah,
and I love the Bear, but the golf course, not the golfer.
Yeah, but it's a real resort. I mean, the pools are outstanding. The pools are outstanding. The indoor pool, the outdoor pool. The spa at the resort is outstanding. Great spa packages, by the way. If you go up to Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, the sports bar, they have so much for you there. And then, of course, Turtle Creek Casino, which is right down the way, and they run shuttles over to the casino. So many things for you to enjoy if you make it up to Grand Traverse Resort and Spa.
I've been there.
I know you have. It's
great. I'm not the big golf guy like how y'all talking about, but I do have quite a time there. The spa. Emphasis on Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. That spa was crazy. It was very tranquil is what I'm looking for. It was great. Caroline, I appreciate you, girl.
Yeah,
I appreciate you for this deal. It smells so good. I love the smell of new things. It just smells good.
Yeah, see, my golf attire is on another level because of our friends at Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. So, definitely.
He can't play the game, but he looks the game.
Hey, I can look good on like a golfer.
Yeah,
so would you rather look good and play bad or play bad and right?
I'm gonna look good and don't play.
Yeah. Definitely make it over to the pro shop or Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. You can book your reservations, set up your vacation packages at grandtraverseresort.com. All right. So, Mr. Gardner, the Wolverines have started the season 1-0.
Yeah.
They defeated the Fresno State Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. A Fresno State team, by the way, that is not a doormat. I keep saying this to people that think that Fresno State was just some slouch team coming in there. They were not. They are not. This is going to be at least an 8-win team, I think. in the grand scheme of things. We saw a really, really good Michigan defense, a really, really good Michigan kicker, and we saw an offense that clearly has some work to do. Give me your broad strokes of what you saw in this game, and obviously Michigan offense, Monday morning quarterback.
Firstly, I just want to tell people, Fresno State and schools like that, Western Michigan, all these different schools like that are lower level Division I schools, it's not the same anymore. And I'll tell you why. You get so many guys that were at the Power 5 level that go down to, the Group of 5 or, Mountain West, Mid-American Conference, Conference USA. They go down to these programs. And so now they don't have the depth, but like that initial group of players that they send out there, they have good players, really good players that are Power 5 top players. But either one, they didn't get the opportunity they deserve. Maybe they got in the doghouse at their school or whatever. Or two, they just want more opportunity, right? A guy, I can't think of his name right now because I try to forget everybody once, I move to the next game because there's a lot of new names you got to learn with all the transition in college football. But he played at Iowa State. He's running back, very productive. And he transferred down to New Mexico, right? And it wasn't because he wasn't producing. It's because he just wanted more, right? He wanted more of an opportunity to produce and be more of an every down back. And the NFL has proven that you can go to the NFL from anywhere, right? And so Fresno State's got good players. I have that same thing with Wisconsin and Western Michigan. Everybody's like, why is Wisconsin in a dogfight with Western Michigan? Well, Western Michigan has really good players and a really good coach that has a really bright future. But I just want to say that with that being said, Michigan should still dominate Fresno State, right? Should still dominate. And so the takeaways, I have a few takeaways from the game, like overall on the offensive side. And it starts with, the offensive line couldn't create a new line of scrimmage, right? We've seen in the past that, they stack the box, we move them out of the way, right? Man-on-man blocking, trap, whatever you want. Deuce, what kind of blocking scheme do you want? Our offensive line had been able to win, and that's just not the case right now, and it doesn't get easier, right? So I don't know how much that's going to be the case moving forward. Obviously, they have to find continuity and different things like that, and they don't have a lot of time, right? Because Texas is coming in a few days. And then my next takeaway was Khalil Mullins continues to improve. I've been so impressed, and it's so funny because I talked to him this year, and I told him, and I'm pretty straightforward, me, Sam. And I told him, like, man, you were terrible. Like when he first started, I told him, and you know what? His response, I said it to him, but his response is why he's so good now. I think he's very, very good, right? He was just like, he kind of just laughed, like, I mean, he was missing, his eye, he was blind, whatever the case may be, but he made a commitment to getting better, and now he's got Alfred, and his ceiling is so high. He's powerful. He's strong. He's got good vision. Some jump cuts in there that was super impressive. And he's quickly becoming my favorite player. I think he's probably my favorite player on the team. Always got a favorite player. Mm-hmm. He's probably my favorite player on the team. And pass pro as well, right? Run the football, and then in pass pro, outstanding. Just putting his face on people. It was super impressive to watch. Colston Loveland is who we thought he was, and then some. So Colston, I knew, obviously we know how good Colston Loveland is. However, I didn't know he could just line up one-on-one and get busy. My goodness, he got like these guys, they go out of town for training and all these different things. That's a kid that definitely worked on his game, because as good as he was a year ago, he wasn't line up, I'm about to kill you at the line of scrimmage and go wing that good. Like, he was good at catching the ball, big, strong, can run fast, get open, all those different things. But winning at the line of scrimmage against defensive backs who are used to doing it, and I'm not talking about just overpowering these guys. I'm talking about footwork, shoulder lean, body language one way, get the other way, and they can't even get hands on them. That is extremely impressive. And I was very impressed to see that. Next takeaway: the conservative style won't work against good teams. The run on first down every time. The 2nd and 10, just run the ball again. The 3rd and 9, throw a swing pass or just shallow cross with guys. That is not going to work. And you're going to be off the field, and you don't want to put the defense in a position where they become unmotivated. As much as everybody, you like to think that everybody just plays hard the entire time and it's never going to be wavering. Well, you can waver when you continue to watch your offense come off the field on 3rd down, right? And it's demoralizing. And then hopefully you don't get turnovers where you put them in bad positions, but you don't want to get your defense unmotivated because you're not contributing to the victory. And that's what could happen if we stay with the old style of offense. We just don't have the dominant offensive line to just lean on people and do what we want whenever we want. You know what I mean? And then this one is, and this is going to be a little bit of a longer. There's no cute quarterback competition, right? Because from what I watched, one kid got all the snaps and another kid came in and ran one play at a time, and that's a tough pill to swallow because, like you talked about earlier, about the run game and all those different things and who can help us in that to make sure if that's what you want to do, how can you help it? One play at a time means that you don't trust him to throw the ball down the field, all these different things. And so it was very disappointing to see. I was very disappointed to see it just because I think that it's next to impossible. And so I want to say this first. When I was competing with Denard for the job, we were both live, right? Because neither one of us had played. I mean, Denard had played a little bit, but he hadn't played like every snap, getting tackled, getting up after getting tackled, right? Throwing with people running at you that are going to tackle you, different things like that, right? And so it's super easy to perform well when nobody's running at you, when you know they're not going to hit you. It's super easy to perform well when you're not going to get tackled, right? So these guys didn't get tackled in practice from what I've gathered. So there's no way that one guy won the competition without showing what he's capable of when the fire is actually hot, right? On State Street, that fire is not that hot for a quarterback that's not live. I'm sorry. It's not. It's really not. And you can be super good, and it's basically 7-on-7, right? And we see so many quarterbacks that are good at 7-on-7. And when you strap it on, it's a totally different arena. So I was super disappointed at that just because it was supposed to be a competition, right? And I think Orji thought that and I haven't spoken to him, but I would imagine he thought he was in a competition. And this is a perfect opportunity to give him a drive, give him a drive, however you want to do it, right? I'm not the coach. And like last year or 2 years ago, Harbaugh did you play this game, you play this game. Well, they can't do that because Texas is next week. And that's not fair. Right, you're not going to roll a guy out there against Texas when he basically missed the whole game opportunity or a whole half or whatever the case may be. So I thought it was a little irresponsible because and this is why, and a lot of people can't understand this, but I'm going to try to get you in the mind of quarterbacks and humans in general. It's a confidence thing, right? So I want everybody to have some empathy here and imagine if you're Alex Orji and you believe you're in a competition. Right? Your family believes you're in a competition. All your friends at home in Texas believe you're in a competition. The entire world thinks you're going to play, be the quarterback, right? They actually think you're not in a competition. They think you're the guy, right? I watched the ESPN after the show, whatever, Booger McFarland. He was talking about Michigan versus Texas, and he said, yeah, with the running quarterback and all that, he didn't watch the game.
He didn't watch the game.
He didn't watch the game. He don't know. He only played one play at a time, right? And so, but put yourself in his shoes with all these external forces. As much as we want to keep it in, don't worry about that. Well, he's going to talk to his family. He's going to talk to his friends and everybody that expect him to contribute. So now you got a kid who doesn't get to contribute in the way that he thought he was competing, right? And then he's not crazy. He knows that's not a competition if he only plays one play at a time. And then he's getting like 10 yards a pop on some occasions. And it's just like right off the field. And then the TV copy, right? They're putting the camera on his face every single time. And he handled it well because, young DG, I don't know. I don't know how well I handle it. You know what I mean? And so for me, and this is a charge to the whole entire Michigan fan base, you need to send encouragement to Alex Orji. I'm telling you, because it's so hard to keep your confidence when you're getting all these messages from family and everybody trying to ask you what's going on. And at this point, you really don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean? And so I think we're going to need Alex Orji. I think we're going to need him for a lot of different reasons, but I think we're going to need him. And I saw the confidence wavering. Firstly, I knew it before this even happened, but when he gets the first opportunity, I think in the third quarter to do 2 plays in a row, he gets a sprint out, right? And he skips it off the ground. And so I know for a fact, I don't know how great of a passer Alex Orji is. I don't know his arm talent. Well, I've seen it. He has great arm talent when it's what it is. One thing for certain, every day of the week, he can throw a sprint out to a hitch route. 100%. 100%. And I've talked on this show and I've talked to Sam privately about my experience against UConn where I completely lost confidence. The throw I know I can make, I couldn't make it. And I don't know why. I do know why, because whatever's inside of you, whatever's going on, you can't get out of that funk, right? And so when I see him sprint out and skip the ball off the ground, it's like, oh, this is dangerous because it's so hard to get your confidence back when you don't have any previous success. I have previous success to draw on. When you don't have any real previous success to draw on, where do you get that confidence back from? High school? What is that, 4 or 5 years ago? How do you get it back? And so I charge everybody, go give him encouraging words to make sure, because I'm telling you right now, we're going to need Alex Orji to perform in I don't know what capacity, but we're going to need him to perform. And if he can't be confident, it's going to be trouble.
So a couple of things. I want you to break down Davis Warren's performance, which we will get to in the driving force report on the other side to dedicate that to Davis's showing. After the game, one of my points was really focused on Alex and his impact on the running game because of the point that you're making. I can see them possibly needing to use him more if it's necessary based on how they got a block. Because put it this way, if the scenario is what it was last year, that they to run in the loaded boxes, that you need your quarterback to help account for that in some way, then Alex might be part of the answer to that. And if Alex is part of the answer to that, then it's going to be him more than one snap at a time.
Yeah.
Right. So that part of it was a bit surprising to me, but it wasn't. So that they had a guy, that's not a surprise. So that was always the plan. Let's rewind the tape in part of your commentary and talking about what the competition was. It was never the case, and I know this for a fact, it was never the case that they were going to have games be part of the competition. That was never.
I think it's irresponsible.
Well, that may be, but they never put forth. Sharon never put forth that he was going to do what Jim did. That he was going to have game one. We're going to have one guy get a series, or one guy get a quarter, and that guy get a quarter. He said from jump, I'm going to name a guy, and the other guy, and then he said, okay, the other guy's going to play. Now, what the other guy playing, what constituted playing, well, didn't necessarily know what that meant.
So this is my question would be, say Orji wins the job. And so since that is, everybody's going to play. Does Davis Warren only play one play at a time?
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you no. It's not going to happen. Because what is he coming to do? What, you going to come around Q power? You're going to come in and throw one hitch and then jog off the field? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I get that. I get
tough.
that. Yeah. I get that. And that may be an adjustment even in this game, because look, rhythm is a thing. Rhythm is a thing. Even in the run game, rhythm is a thing.
100%.
But in the pass game, for him, because whether it's confidence or even just throwing the football, he clearly skipping the ball, both of that. It could have, even if it wasn't a confidence thing, it was, man, he hadn't thrown a football since the first quarter.
Yeah, and when I tell you that first throw wasn't really a throw, it was kind of like a little jump. You know what I mean? Wide open. That's not a. But.
So there is something to be said for that, and it gets back to the initial premise. I still boil it down to everything is based on their ability to run the football, and I boil it down to that. how are you at running into a loaded box? So if you think the answer isn't playing Alex more, and it may not be, because I'm not sitting here saying that I'm at practice every day and that's automatically the answer. The alternative is you can answer it with Davis too. The way that Georgia answered it was with Stetson Bennett, who coincidentally, former walk-on. And what did they say to him when they faced Michigan in the Orange Bowl? They said, you know what? Yeah, this Michigan defense, guess what they're doing? They're loading this box. They're walking Dax Hill down in this box.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to read the hell out of that. We're going to RPO the hell out of it. Man, it was like 14, 15 RPOs in the first half, Devin Gardner. And they said, Stetson, we're going to trust you. We're going to trust you to read that. And we're going to RPO them. And so you could do that. I'm not saying that's the only, but it's an answer if you can't block loaded by. And I'm not saying the line can't do it, but I'm saying if they get in the scenario where they can't,
then
it's an answer if Davis Warren winds up being the case and you can't block.
I'm the on the table guy. You know what I mean? I stand. They can't block a loaded box. Not with the players that they have right now. And that's not like a jab at them, right?
It's only been 1 week though, DG. It's been 1 week. And 1 week with a new line, you already ready?
In 1 week, in 1 week, I knew JJ was the quarterback. 1 week.
1 week and the line that just got together. Come on, man. You don't think that's too soon?
Well, the season will go on, and then you'll come back and be like, all right, you was right. That's which is fine. I don't. Okay. And then if I'm wrong, I'm fine with that too.
Okay, you can first guess it. I'm gonna say the jury's out on that.
Our first guess.
Okay.
Right, I don't wait for it to happen. If that's the case, what am I here for? If I'm gonna wait for it to happen and then tell everybody what everybody already know, I'm telling you right now, I don't think they're capable of doing that. But that's not a jab. Most teams can't block you know what I mean? The box is loaded. They have more guys. That's math. That's not like, oh, you're not good enough. That's math. It was special of Michigan to be able to do it for all those years, but that's not realistic. That's not how it really works. And now this is more realistic. Okay, there are more guys than we have. No matter the scheme, they have more guys, right? So you have to control them with either quarterback run or RPO like you talked about.
All right, we'll get to a break. We'll get more into it on the other side. You know how we do it on the Monday Morning Quarterback. You also know how we do it on the corner of Maine and Snyder.
But I'm not playing it because we are in the video now.
Right, I get you.
I just want you to know we're on video. So if you're watching on the stream,
so
the sounder's not going to happen. But we're still giving something away right now.
Right,
we're still feeling generous.
We're still feeling generous. So if you want to join us, where we do the Wolverine Rental countdown to kickoff inside the Bud Light Victor's Lounge, just be calling number 7 at 734-998-1050. That's where Ira Weintraub, Steve Clark, Goose, and I lead you up to the game versus Michigan and between Michigan and Texas this Saturday. Our 3-hour pregame show with great food, and great drinks. All you got to do is be calling number 7 at 734-998-1050. We got to get to a break. Be back on the other side with more Monday Morning Quarterback here on the Big 1050 WTKA and online at thebig1050.com. All right, DG, let's get to some of these questions in the deal. Hey, somebody said, DG, I'm okay if Devin wants to mess up Davis' name and call him Cade. Like, do you think he played like Cade? I don't think he played like Cade.
Yeah, he did.
You think he played like Cade? I don't think he played like Cade.
I watched a couple plays where it's 39 or whatever, and he dropped back and threw it straight to the running back. And so I thought that it was a screen until I went back and watched it. Like, no, everybody else is running routes, right? And then Donovan gets tackled, in the back, and not in the backfield. I think he gained 1 yard or something like that. And then there was other occasions where it's 39. We're throwing it to covered guys that are nowhere near the first down. You know what I mean? And that's a Cadeism. That's what he does. Because it's like every drive that ends in a kick is good. Yeah, until you keep doing it over and over. You know what I mean? So, maybe not exactly like, because he did take some shots downfield. The interception, he if he gets more on it and he kind of throws it away from the defender, that'd be a good throw. And I think that's courage, because Cade didn't do that. So maybe not quite exactly like Cade, but some of the
Davis Warren is not Cade. He's not Cade in how he plays, and he's not Cade with how he is. This is not Cade McNamara.
Well, I hope not.
No, he's not.
No, I hope not.
He's not. I refuse.
This person.
I refuse on Cade McNamara.
Don't act like who said that. Don't act like he's making that up. Like there is some Cade we saw in the game, but there was some maybe not quite Cade. Yeah.
Well, it's just
being honest. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Cade, a Big Ten championship quarterback, so it's not like if Davis Warren wins a Big Ten championship after being a walk-on, I think he'd be okay with being Cade.
Here's what I would say. The dynamic that they had that year, I could see that dynamic being present in this instance. That line, the reason why you could win a Big Ten championship with Cade McNamara at quarterback, because you had a line that could block loaded boxes.
Unbelievable line.
That's what made it possible. Now, Davis Warren is a more talented player than Cade McNamara.
Oh, that's not even that. Is that what we're saying? I'm talking the way he played. We know he's way more talented. It's not even close. Remember, I said that 3 or 4 years ago after the spring. I said, "Well, JJ's the quarterback. Davis Warren is the backup." You remember that? I don't know if I said it on the show, but I definitely told you. Yeah, that goes without saying. That's not even close. Yeah, let's be clear about that. He's much more talented. That's for sure. However, he did play like the don't want to make mistake type of football that Cade will play.
Well, let's also take into account to folks. Listen, it's also his first start. And so it's also his first start.
I meant to say this, but they probably held a lot back as well, right? They probably thought, we'll beat Fresno, and we don't want to give too much, because the thing is, the one advantage they definitely have, firstly at home, the game's at home, and secondly, Texas has no idea. Right? They don't know what this offense is, because all the pieces are different, right? 5 offensive linemen, different. Quarterback, different. Running back, different, right? Okay. Wide receivers, different. So, I mean, they could have been holding a lot back, but, the fact that they're unable to block loaded boxes, that's not made up. That's real.
Mm-hmm. And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA and online on the Big1050.com. The Monday Morning Quarterback, brought to you by Grand Traverse Resort, GrandTraverseResort.com. It is time for Devin's Driving Force Report, brought to you by Golden Limousine International, your partner in moving business and communities forward. Listen. When time counts, count on Golden. In more than 450 locations around the globe, count on Golden Limousine staff to be available 24/7 to assist. Visit your travel and transportation plans. Visit Golden Limo to reserve in Michigan and international transportation. Our friends at Golden Limo will get you there on time, every time. And if you book your transportation through Golden right now, whether that's your executive transport, airport transport, game day transport. People, on game days need to go to and fro and don't want to have to worry about parking. It is a great option. Bus trips, any of your transportation needs can be met by Golden. If you book through Golden using the Golden ticket, a portion of your transportation fee will go to Michigan NIL. They donate to the Michigan Collectives. A portion will also go to a veterans charity called Freedom River, because they support our veterans as well. And so they are active in giving to the community. They are active in giving to Michigan NIL. If you book your Golden Limo traffic or transportation through the Golden ticket, you are contributing to both. That is the Golden Limo difference. It is time now for Devin, your Driving Force Report. And that is focused on the performance of one Mr. Davis Warren, Michigan starting quarterback. So break it down, Devin Gardner.
Right. So, in the commercial, we were talking in the stream about, the fact that Texas is on the horizon. I'm sure they held a lot back. I hope they held a lot back, right? Just because the pedestrian type of offense they were running is like, That's not going to work against Texas. And so I imagine, because like I outlined during the stream, is 5 new offensive linemen, pretty much all new receivers, new quarterback, new running back. Texas has no idea. So why give them idea if you know you're going to win the game? I completely understand that, right? But not being able to block a loaded box is a real thing. And against Fresno, whereas they have some good players, but they don't have all good players, right? But as far as Davis went, I think it was a fine. I think it was a fine outing. Like, it was nothing special about it, but he wasn't terrible. Like I said, I was just frustrated that Alex Orji didn't get enough opportunities just because of the way they were playing. He took a few shots downfield. He underthrew that one that was intercepted, but I've already talked about that if he puts a little more on it, it's the right read. The guy wins, is cover 4. They had a perfect route combination, dig on the backside, deep post, dig, hose the backside safety. He can run over the top. Now Davis, with more experience and continuing to learn, he'll understand you can throw him more across. You don't have to throw him back away from the safety, because the safety has to deal with Samaj Morgan on that dig coming from the backside. He did miss a few easy throws, right? What we would call easy routine throws, just a quick out, way too far outside. He missed Dono on a Texas route, way out front, and almost got him killed. He did not want to do that. Yeah. And then not really allowing himself to push the ball a little bit more down the field in those 3rd and long situations. And let's help him as well too, right? I gave you the Alex Orji side of the confidence and all that, but let's get into Davis Warren's head too. First start, right?
Yes.
The offensive line. Hold on, now pump your brakes, brother.
I'm agreeing with
hard,
you.
Yes, I don't like that. Just take
it. Was agreeing
with.
Stop being sensitive,
because you
brother.
might not agree with everything.
Stop being sensitive.
Because if you don't say hard yes for everything, I'm gonna be a little upset. All right, now pump your brakes, Chief. So as I was saying, first start, right? So I remember, my first start, I got down. It was against Minnesota at Minnesota. But to start that game, I was, it's like, man, I'm finally got my opportunity. It's a little bit, I threw a pick in the first drive, but after that, I lit them up. You know what I mean? It was, I got busy. And so, but a first start, the jitters, the different things like that, it's coming off of a national championship, right? And now you're expected to be perfect, right? They want perfect. You Michigan fans, especially against a Fresno State. So you got that pressure. And then, right, he hasn't been hit. He's been in practice. He's been on State Street. And like I talked about, it's not the same, man. It's just not the same when another jersey, everybody seems bigger. Everybody seems faster on the other side. And I know he's been practicing against this monstrous defense, but they haven't hit him, right? He hasn't been knocked to the ground. He hasn't been put in a position where he has to make decisions, and it's not 3rd down period. And so let me explain that. When you're in practice, at every college, you have different periods: red zone period, 3rd down period, blah, 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 right? First down period. 3rd down period in practice, you run one play. If you get the first down or not, you're back out there. You run another play. You get the first down or not, you're back out there. You run and so on and so forth, right? Well, 3rd down period in the game, you need to get the first down, right? So in practice, you can throw a shallow cross and not get the first down, and it counts as a completion and it's great. But in real life, on Main Street, you're off the field. You understand that? And so that's his first time experiencing that type of thing where, man, this is a little different, right? I can't just throw the shallow cross. I don't go back out there. And so now you off the field, and hopefully the defense gets the ball back quickly, but maybe that other team can possess the ball. So now you're sitting on the sideline. And so those are things that he just has to learn. And now it just doesn't help that Texas is next, right? You wish it was Arkansas State next and then Texas so that he can get his feet wet a little more, feel himself, understand. Like, because I know he has the arm to make that throw to Freddie, but it's just I don't want to overthrow him. I know he's open. I want to make sure he's open too. Maybe I throw a little late. Maybe I don't have enough juice to throw. You know what I mean? I wait to make sure. But now when you wait to make sure, for those at home, those guys are sprinting. You know what I mean? Every half of a second is about 5 yards. Right, he's running fast, and so you wait to make sure. Then you're a little short. Corner comes underneath, makes a nice play, and those are growing pains that you just don't get in practice. Because think about it: the last week of practice, when you get to Thursday, they tell the defense don't intercept the ball. Right? Like, it's a real thing because you need to see if these players are going to work. We don't need a special team. We call them special teams All-American. We don't need that. You can do that early in the week, but we get late in the week. You need to don't intercept the ball. And so I'm sure he's completed. I would imagine a ball probably didn't hit the ground on Thursday last week, right? But the game's different. The game's different, right? Your adrenaline is pumping. Your heart is pounding. And he's never gotten a chance to deal with that. Coming into games late and playing a little bit, your heart's not pounding. There's no pressure to perform. There's no pressure to perform. You're up a lot if you're in the game, right? And so you can just play freely, and we saw him make some plays. But when you're the guy, everybody's depending on you. They're taking you out sometimes for the Wildcat type of thing, because that's what it is. It's the Wildcat. It's not a quarterback going in there, and it's not that's what they show. It's a Wildcat situation. So you're coming in, you're coming out, and you're not really getting in a rhythm because you're getting off on third down. You don't have that long sustained drive that you want to have. You know what I mean? And so it's tough. It is tough. And like you talked about it, I don't know him personally, but you said he's made for it, right? He can do it. I'll wait to watch, right? I don't know for sure.
Which one are you talking about?
We're talking about Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say he's made for it.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I'm not getting on the table for that until I see more, right? Because if I base it off of just what I saw against Fresno State in his very first start with all those circumstances I just outlined, then I would say absolutely not. He's not ready for it. But that's not fair. Right? That's not fair. And so he gets another opportunity here against Texas. And I can't even say for sure if I judge him after that, because that's a big monster coming in here, man.
Yeah.
This is a team that returns a lot. And their offense is going to make some plays on our defense. As great as our defense is, that offense is going to make some plays, right? And so how do you combat that only in your second start and you still haven't gotten comfortable yet? That's tough. That's tough. And then you get Arkansas State, right? And you could kind of try to get your feet wet again, try new things out and whatever. But, I mean, I have to go back to, I wish that, because I can tell you this for a fact. I don't know what, I wasn't at practice. Maybe went to like 1 or 2 practices. And the practice I went to, none of them looked great, right? I saw some things that Alex Orji had that was special at times, but I didn't think any of them were great. I thought it was clear open competition. But we don't know what Orji is in a game. And he played well in the spring game. That's not a real game. I'm talking about making decisions, making plays. Some guys aren't good in practice, Sam. Some guys aren't good in practice. And maybe, and
that wasn't even the talk with Alex, though, that we don't know for sure. They said he was good in practice.
Which frustrates me even more, because if he was good in practice, I'll go back to the point that I made. You can't truly name the guy if they've not been tackled. And you haven't had to go third down and you do scrimmages and stuff like that, but that's not the real thing. If that's the case, and I don't know that to be true, I'm trusting you, that frustrates me even more. Because if he wasn't bad, why can't he play 2 plays in a row? And that's not me on the table saying, or you should be the starter. That's me on the table saying, we have to see what we got. He has to have a chance to show what he has. Because if Davis, and I don't know this for a fact, like I said, I'll wait to see. What if Davis Warren isn't the guy? And you've lost all the confidence for Orji because of all the things I outlined in the first segment. Then what? It's over, is what it is. I mean, you got some other young guys, but obviously they can't do it, right? From what you've seen in practice, it's over. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I feel like it was irresponsible. I do. And that may be harsh. Some people may say that, but I think it's fair. I think it was irresponsible because if Davis Warren isn't the guy and you've lost Alex Orji's confidence because the kid couldn't get the second half when you're up big, he couldn't get 2 plays in a row.
Well, I think so. I think we got to know what they told him, what they told both guys about.
Judging by his face on the TV copy, he did not expect to jog off that field every single time after running nice plays.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, I've been that guy. I'm telling you for a fact. He did not expect to just jog off the field after gaining 10 yards on first down and gaining 9 yards on first down and gaining 4 or 5 yards on first down. He did not expect to just jog off the field every time. And I hate that TV does this, but you have to. You have to put your camera on a guy like that. And he did a nice job of handling it, but I know that face. I've had that face. I know that face. And that wasn't a face of I expected to come out every single time I got a chance to play.
So what I don't know. So I don't know what they told him about how they were going to play him in the game. What I do know is he did look like a guy whose confidence was shaken in the game, and it felt like skipping that pass was a part of that. So it feels like that's something that they need to build up, because I do feel like they're gonna. And
Michigan, like I said, Michigan fans can help. You need to get Adam, and maybe he's not on social media, but you got to try. Make sure that he knows the fan base believes in him. If he, and
I feel like they're going to need him in some greater capacity. At the same time, it is also the case that in the case of Davis Warren, his first start, there may be some greater responsibility within the framework of what they're going to ask him to do, that he's going to need some more confidence placed in him too. Because I think if what you say is true.
Does he lose confidence if Alex Orji gets a drive?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if what you say is true about this offensive line. See, I'm not ready to buy, and I know we got to get to a break hour. I'm not ready to buy that this line can't block a loaded box yet. It could be the case.
I already told
you could be right.
I'm going to be right.
Okay. But if you are,
I haven't been wrong yet.
they have an adjustment to make strategically.
Yeah.
About how they're going to attack things at the quarterback position.
Strategy has to change.
Right? Okay, so now your quarterback is going to have to account for how you account for extra guys in the run game.
Yeah.
Either you're going to account for it with Alex in the run game, and he's going to be a part of the running dynamic. And it feels like that's probably going to be a part of the mix in some capacity. And then if it's more in Davis's hands, which he won the job, he had an outstanding completion percentage. They said it was 87%. He threw the ball really well. Well, in order
when
that's what they said.
Oh, you're saying in practice?
In practice, yeah.
When you're not being tackled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just asking.
All right, and so
it was 60. It was 60 in this game.
I understand that. For that to manifest, for that to make more hay in games, you got to be able to get to it. You got to be able to run the football some. Yeah. So how do you lighten the box some? The only way, one of the ways to do that is to let him RPO it.
Well,
to let him RPO it and trust him to be able to read that. And maybe he's going to throw behind it some to lighten that box so you can start to run into get some advantageous running situations.
Very well may be the case. And I think that we don't know just yet. And I want to go back to this, that they might have held a lot back.
And they might have held a lot back.
However, after Texas, you won't be holding anything back in the Texas game for a fact. Like, if you're holding stuff in the Texas game, it's crazy. And so that's even more irresponsible. You know what I mean? So
here's the thing,
we'll
man.
See on Saturday.
Here's the thing. Listen, we've seen these dudes. Let's not act like we haven't seen these guys adjust and adapt in seasons, in games.
It's different, Sam. Every single, like last year, right, when everybody was panicking and I made sure everybody was calm, we saw something like I in particular saw like, okay, that can be fixed. That can be fixed. And I'm telling you, I watched this game 3 times. Some of those things, it's like, okay, maybe just not capable at that. You know what I mean? Now, like one time it was a center went point left, and Al Hadi, I don't think he got the point, and he kind of missed the guy because his footwork, whatever. That could be fixed. Like, that's continuity. But some of the other stuff, just moving a man, just moving him out of the way, nah, that ain't. You don't get like stronger during the season and all that.
Let's take a pause. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll close things out here on the Monday Morning Quarterback on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at the big1050.com.
And for the chat, I believe that Alex Orji could have had the same performance if he played the whole game as Davis Warren, maybe even a little better just because of his running threat. And so that's kind of why I'm so confused. I don't know what the method is, and they get paid a lot of money to do what they're doing, and so you got to trust it. But I do not understand. And you guys know for the last 3 years, and it's what was it, 3 years ago I started, where I made it very clear what was going to happen. It all happened because I did my homework and whatever. And so doing my homework right now, I just have to be honest. I don't see that being a formula that they're using right now. I don't see it being a formula for like that's conducive to success.
Which
at the level that they expect. You know what I mean?
What
like
formula are we talking about?
The formula of not giving a guy a chance to see what he's got in the game and putting all of your eggs in one basket from a guy that you haven't seen what he can do, if that makes sense. Especially because you do not have the dominant offensive line that can just 36 straight runs. You know what I mean? If we run the ball Sam, if we run the ball 30, Sam, I don't want to hear nothing you talking about. If you run the ball 36 straight times with this offensive line, we're gonna be by 35.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, it took them a minute to get to that last year because they couldn't run 36 straight times at the beginning of last year. Beginning of last year was a struggle.
Well, no, it wasn't a struggle. It wasn't a struggle. I made it very clear.
Running the football last year, at the beginning of last year, it was a struggle.
I don't think it was a struggle.
Man, you need to go back and rewatch the tape.
We can go watch the tapes that we had. I told everybody, chill out, it'll be fine. Right? That was more continuity, not.
It changed because duos were off the table. They couldn't even run a duo play.
Mm.
And then they put JJ in a gun and they start reading them. Changed the whole damn game.
We don't have that option.
I understand that, but I'm
so what are you talking about?
But what I'm telling you is that's how they start being able to run the football.
But we don't have that option.
I'm telling you,
this version doesn't have that option.
How they made an adjustment.
This version doesn't have it.
That was one of the adjustments, and then they brought in that jumbo package too.
This version doesn't have that option. No, they have the option for the jumbo package. I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And I want to say it again. This ain't killing off his line. You shouldn't be able to block a loaded box. You shouldn't. That's how football's played. We were cheating.
That's not cheating.
That's cheating that you can block a loaded box. Why do you get to block a loaded box and everybody else can't? That we've lived in a life of luxury for 3 years. Now this is real football where it's like, okay, they have more guys than us. We got to do something else. And we're going to be forced to, and you got to coach. You got to coach.
That anyway, no, just being able to block a loaded box is coaching. It's excellent coaching.
All right.
It's excellent coaching.
All right, go ahead.
It is.
Yeah, we will see.
It's hard to do.
You have your stance and I have mine.
When you're replacing 5 guys, it's hard to get 5 new guys to do that.
You're proving my point. Crazy. You're proving my point. What are we doing? What are we doing? 5 new guys. Don't you want somebody that can move a little bit?
All right, we're gonna get some of your questions in now, folks. And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA and on the Big1050.com. Our Monday morning quarterback, Devin Gardner, brought to you by Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. No truer north than Grand Traverse Resort. You can book your vacation packages, your golf packages, your spa packages.
Spa. Emphasis on spa.
At grandtraverseresort.com. Be sure to check it out. And by the way,
these people in the comments are ruthless, by the way. What? Go ahead. They're just wild. They're ruthless, but go ahead.
What are they ruthless about?
They just got a lot going on. They are mean. My goodness. Okay. They just won a national championship.
Who are they killing? What are they killing?
Just go ahead. What you saying?
Yeah, I forgot to mention when I was telling people to book their transportation, whether it's airport transport, game day transport, executive transport, bus transportation, whatever your transportation needs are. Book your transportation through Golden Limo in Southeastern Michigan, domestically or abroad. Go to goldenlimo.com. I didn't mention the website. So I'm telling these people to do it. Didn't mention the website. Go to goldenlimo.com to do it. But listen, you have questions. I want to throw them at the man that we call DG. And so, DG, let's start getting to it right now. DG, Chris Voss wants to know, O-line miscommunication and jitters, easy to clean up? Week 1 and week 2, do you think that's a easy to clean up proposition?
I mean, I wouldn't say easy, but miscommunications, you can fix it. It can be fixed. And the only thing that makes it so difficult, and I have to keep saying it because it's a real thing, is you're playing this team that is a good team. You know what I mean? A really good team. So it's the grace period for growth is a little different. You know what I mean? Right? It's so much pressure on you to perform, right? With Texas coming into the big house and people are going to make a huge deal of it. And, you know, it's just hard to explain, man. But as an athlete, you would love, like, that's why they play preseason games in the NFL, right? That's why you usually schedule a Fresno State, like a cupcake game. You know what I mean? Not saying that Fresno State is a cupcake, but you schedule teams that aren't as good just so you can get that continuity that you just don't have when you replace 5 guys. But in week 2, right? Remember when Michigan had this problem for a long time, we play Notre Dame week 2 all the time. You know what I mean? And so playing Texas in week 2 is tough, but I think throughout the season, 100% it can be fixed.
All right. Adam Shepardson wants to know, Sam, ask DG about that route down the sidelines to Timo. Why did Timo stop? That ball looked perfect. You know the one he's talking about out and up?
Yeah, so this is my honest opinion. Remember, I don't know for a fact. So everybody knows they have the iPads on the sideline, right? So they can look back at plays. And to that point in the game, there was a lot of plays where Davis isn't even looking at guys that are going down the field, right? You know, he had the interception, but for the most part, he's not looking. And so for receivers, as much as, like I said about defense, you want to go hard all the time and whatever, right? It gets to a point where if I'm not being looked at, I'm gonna run my route and whatever, but I ain't always gonna run it to win, you know, sometimes. And, you know, you run the double move and you kind of think it's probably not coming to you, and then it comes, right? And so that's why you got to keep running. You got to do everything you need to do. But, you know, it becomes demoralizing just running routes for conditioning sometimes. You know what I mean? And will that be the case, you know, next week? I'm sure Morris is going to see that and say, okay, I need to make sure I stay alive all the time, right? It was a mistake by him to do that. However, I understand how he could do that, right? As I play wide receiver, and it's just like, Denar, if I'm not going to get the ball, I'm stopping this. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to keep running 20 yards down the field and not even get a chance. You're not going to look at me, you know what I mean? So in his defense, I understand it. However, it can't be accepted. You got to make sure you correct that, and he will.
So it was on Timo.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to the next question. By the way, listen, we got to close out on the radio, but we're going to stay alive in the stream. So if you're with us or YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, we'll keep rolling.
And we on all those?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. That's how we roll.
I'm about to go look at it.
But on the radio, we're going to have to sign off. And so, folks, we hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Ira, were we already generous enough this hour?
We can be generous one more time. Why not?
We can? All
sure,
right,
why not?
We'll be generous on the way out. Just be caller number 7-734-998-1050. And you'll join us for the Wolverine Rental Countdown to kickoff this Saturday leading up to the Texas game. And we'll see you tomorrow here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA and online at the Big1050.com. We'll keep it going on the stream with more questions for DG. So Sir Ben D. Brown says, is it ridiculous to think that JJ sometimes would bounce the ball on a sideline throw last year? I guess I don't seem to recall that, DG.
Man, why are you putting that up and he won the national championship and win the first round? What are we doing? Like, okay, let's just make this clear so nobody else types goofy comments and stuff like that. Davis Warren or Alex Orji, not even close to JJ McCarthy, and in my opinion, don't really have the potential because it's too late in the career to become that, right? So just stop that, right? The guy just win the first round. He won a national championship, most decorated quarterback in history of Michigan football. Stop it, okay?
All right.
Let it go.
Chill Bets X36 said, just joined. Thoughts on our receiving core, DG?
They didn't. So we saw Freddie get some separation down the field on that deep throw that was intercepted. But the only person, in my opinion, that created real. I mean, obviously Morris created separation on Al Nub that he kind of slowed down afterward, but there wasn't a whole lot of separation off of the route, right? Not a double move. You know what I mean? It was in Davis Warren's defense, the guys were right next to our wide receivers, which is not always a good thing, especially for a young quarterback just getting started. You would love to see some open guys, but Colson Loveland was spectacular in beating man-to-man coverage, no matter what kind of defender he had, linebacker, safety, cornerback. He abused them, and so that it can't be Colson Loveland or bust. However, he's going to be a big part of it. He's going to catch a lot of footballs this year.
All right.
I think the wide receiver core is capable. They just didn't create a lot of separation this week.
All right. Did you think, Shane M says, Edwards was hit way more in the backfield than Mullings was? Did you think that was the case, DG?
Yeah, I think Mullings right now is a better back. And, it's my honest opinion. I think I don't know if he's more talented than Donovan, but as far as like knowing where the linebacker, and maybe this is because he played linebacker and he understands how linebacking works. He understands the reading of the linebackers and getting to the hole and kind of slowing down, allowing linemen to get in position. And Dono still seems a bit fast a lot of times in some of the different reads at the running back position. So I think that Khalil right now is back one, in my opinion.
See, I think he did get hit. This is my opinion. I think he got hit more before he got going. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I think they are going to need the lack of explosives for this team, for this offense in game one is glaring. And I think he is the single biggest answer to that equation. They got to figure out how to get him, whether it's in the run game or the pass game.
So, when you look back at, the big runs and stuff that Donovan has, spectacular runs, even like stuff that's going to be in Michigan lore forever. It was runs where it was blocked perfectly. You know what I mean? And so that's not going to happen this year. So he's going to have to continue to improve to make sure that he can read and understand. And I want to see him be better in the pass protecting game, right? Because you can't just take him out every single time because you know it's a pass. You know what I mean? He has to be able to protect in the pass game. But I want to see him take the next step, right? Take the next step where it's not blocked perfectly and not necessarily just my talent gets me where I need to go, but I set it up to make sure that and help the offensive linemen and different things like that to have positive runs.
You were talking about the receivers and separation. One of their viewers said, y'all realize Michigan's receivers are regularly being held, throwing off the timing of routes. Don't believe me? Watch the game again. You can see the jersey stretching. Did you see that on film, DG?
Well, I don't know if Free Climb knows, but there are referees out there, and if they didn't call it, it didn't happen, right? And it's the Big Ten. Has this person watched Big Ten football? First of all, in college football in general, there's a lot of grabbing, right? A lot of grabbing, a lot of tugging. And referees aren't throwing flags for grabbing and touching of the jerseys every single time unless it truly impedes the wide receiver, right? And obviously they're not perfect, right? So that's an invalid kind of deal. We're not going to complain about being grabbed. That's why you have arms, right? And I remember Roy Roundtree, when I first started playing receiver, he told me, you need to break his arm. And he, use choice language, use different language, but you can't allow people to grab you. You can't be allowing them to grab you, so that we're not going to complain about the referees not calling holding because that's going to happen all year if that's the case.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Big Ten football, man. That's all it is.
All right. We are getting questions about, here's this. DG, if this is offense, do you think Jaden Davis will wind up being the QB by game 7?
I'm about to say, what's a WB wingback? What's that? He meant QB, though.
Meant QB, yeah.
I think that's tough. I think that's a tough thing to even though Jaden Davis is good RPO and whatever, I think Jaden Davis has a lot of things he needs to work on to make sure he's prepared. And you don't want to put a young guy out there in that fire if he's not ready, right? And I think we're seeing it in college football. We watched last night 2 guys that spent a lot of time learning, and now they were almost perfect in that game. Those 2 quarterbacks for USC and for Doug Nussmeier's son, Garrett Nussmeier and Moss. they were almost perfect. And those are two guys that waited their turn. They learned. They weren't thrown in right away. And now you see those are grown men playing quarterback, and they understand the system. They understand how to play. And some people are going to say, well, shouldn't Davis Warren be like that? And I don't have a response for that, right? So we'll see, right? We get an opportunity to see him on Saturday. He's a guy that's been in the program for quite some time. And I'm not going to say he should be as good as those guys. However, we should see a control of the offense from being, from just being around.
Devon Brown wants to know, what if Orji isn't the guy?
Well, we'll never know. If Orji's not the guy, and I'm assuming he's saying Orji's not the guy, and Davis Warren isn't the guy, we're in trouble. That's what I said. We're in trouble. But we're also in trouble and we'll never know if Orji could have been the guy, and then we have to go to him, but his confidence is shot. We just never get a chance to learn and know, because we never saw him when he was confident, when he thought he could have had a chance at being the quarterback. And so, and I think that time has passed. So I don't think and I hope, I pray, I said a prayer about it. I hope to God that he keeps his confidence and believes that he can do it and that he is enough and all these different things. But I'm also a realist, and it's hard. It's really hard to do that with all the outside sources, you in your own head, right? It's a tough thing to do, man. I've been there, and it's emotional. He's waited his turn, and every single network, ESPN, Fox, everybody has talked all offseason about how Alex Orji is the guy. And then you just told me that he played well, and then you don't get a chance to play. That's tough.
I wanted to get back to the interception, because I wanted to get into your mind. You already touched on it a little bit.
What interception?
But the interception, Davis's interception.
Oh, okay.
You said it was the right read, but I was wondering, and it was underthrown, and then you said it was late, and I was wondering if it was late, because it felt like he went to it late.
Yeah, I don't think it was super late, right? But for Davis, he doesn't have a weak arm, but he don't got a big arm, right? So you got to be perfect. You got to be on time, and you can't be a little bit late, because, like I said, the deeper down the field a guy is, the lower the percentage is, right? Remember this, I said this, the deeper down the field the guy goes, the lower the percentage is, even on air, right? Just the closer you are, it's basic. Like, the closer you are, the higher percentage it is going to be for a completion. So with a guy getting further and further away from you, you want to get that ball out as early as you possibly can. You can't throw it too early, but you can't wait. And I don't think he waited overly long. I don't think that's the case. I think he had a plan. I think he knew where he wanted to go, but he waited that maybe like an extra half a millisecond, which is huge in football, just to be sure. And then maybe didn't have enough arm to get it down.
Mm-hmm. They've been talking in the chat about the offense holding something back. There's been a little bit of a debate. Some people saying they weren't. Daniel's like, say, you sure they were holding something back? They were in a dogfight. Our dropping dimes, brother. Daniel Horton, by the way.
Well, Daniel crazy.
Dan, by the way, dropping dimes coming to you live, 2 p.m. on Wednesday. But Jay Campbell.
And for the record, Daniel, I didn't say they 100% were. I said
listen,
maybe they were.
Here's the thing. Jay Campbell says offense didn't have as much pre-snap movement as last year. That may be being a sign that they were holding something back. That I didn't notice as much pre-snap movement.
I think that's a fact. Right? And like I said, I think they were very vanilla. I remember it was a third down, and you remember when he threw it to Donovan Edwards on the swing route, right? And we didn't get the first down. The next third down, they ran the same play on one side with Colson Loveland on a slant with somebody outside. I can't remember who it was. And then the front side was a little different, but it was still a swing route from Donovan. And then, but the iPads are such a game changer, because you go back and it's like, well, you didn't need to throw it to Donovan. Throw it to Colson Loveland. He won on the backside slant, right? And so he come back, throw it to Colson on the backside slant. He picks up the first down, right? And so I think that's a big time game changer. And it came at the perfect time for a guy like Davis Warren, because now you can get live feedback on what you're seeing. Can you confirm? Can you deny what you're seeing? And you can really help yourself with the iPad, seeing that video of what's happening, so you can have a better grasp. It couldn't have come at a perfect time for Michigan, I can tell you that.
So Honeybean Coffee was talking about your line point. He said Devin might be right. It's not how you spell
he
Devin.
said Devin.
Devin, right? I was about to say that's not how you spell Devin's name, but he said Devin might be right.
I got to do more.
I saw the starting center getting knocked 3 feet in the backfield.
That's true.
This line is not up to standard. I know the play he's talking about. He's talking about that wedge. It was the 3rd and 1. I think it was at the start of the 2nd quarter.
That was tough to watch.
And listen, so that wasn't about the center being weak. First of all, is Dom Jadis was the guy, converted defensive lineman, comes over, he wins the center job, right? And it's a wedge play. And Devin, you talk about how in practice, they're saying don't catch interceptions, right? Because we don't want to see you catch interceptions. We get ready for the game.
Not all the time on Thursdays.
I get
once
it.
You get close to the game. Yeah.
Well, wedge plays, I'm telling you, they ain't practicing wedge plays that.
I've never seen it happen.
They ain't practicing.
And all the practices I've been, I don't think I've ever seen people practice. I mean, maybe they did it inside, and I just happened to be at 7-on-7. But I've never seen a wedge practice.
They ain't about to practice no wedge play in practice. Not like it's a game with all these bodies piling up.
However, to Honeybean Coffee's defense, they've never practiced that, and we've never seen that happen.
And so here's the thing: if you watch the play, do you see the dude's pad level on the play?
It was outstanding.
No, I'm talking about the center's pad level.
It was too high.
He's standing straight up. Dude was all under him. So it wasn't a matter of him.
Time out. So that's true and all that. He's a Division I college football player. You learn pad level in 4th grade.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that in there, I'm just saying, in Honeybean Coffee's defense, like if you got to put yourself in a fan's perspective. We don't need to tell you about pad level. We don't need to practice wedge for you to know. You know what I mean? So and that's what the fans are seeing.
What I'm telling you is, okay, it was week 1 in a play that you aren't really doing a lot in practice, and you just got your butt kicked in a game in a crucial play. That's a play that you can that he got embarrassed on. He got knocked 3 feet in the backfield. But I'm telling you, that's a play that from week 1 to week 2, you could really improve upon. Where it might look like, oh man, he just can't do it because he got moved 3 feet in the backfield. Where I'm telling you, with better pad level, he's not getting moved 3 feet in the backfield, and he can improve that from week 1 to week 2.
That may be the case, but I'm just telling you, the perspective of a fan, they've never seen it happen.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? So you can't get mad at them saying they've never seen it happen. So you can't get mad at the fans for being concerned.
Well, that's why we're here.
And I don't know him like that.
Well,
yeah.
that's why we're here to explain.
Only thing I've seen from him was that, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not going to jump on him, right? Because like I understand your perspective, that can happen, right? There's times where that's equivalent to a guy dropping the ball that when he's open and he should catch it. You know what I mean? It can happen. However, fans just watched the Joe Moore Award win the offensive line for like 3 straight years. Two and
he won't make. If he made that mistake again, you know what, young fella,
you gonna get coffee beans from coffee.
They're gonna be like, hey, you know,
you gonna get coffee beans from coffee?
You can't do this job.
Are you gonna get coffee beans from coffee?
I'm gonna tell coffee bean, you gonna see another guy. If you play with that,
they did put another guy in.
But that was the plan. They always said already said that Crippen was gonna play.
Time out. So, never mind, man.
Yeah,
the centers can do that, but you can't get the quarterbacks a chance.
They said both quarterbacks were gonna play, both centers were gonna play.
But they didn't put Crippen in, take him right back. Like, that's tough, man. I'm sorry, I can't. That's tough, man. And it's just like I'm putting myself in his shoes, right? I'm putting myself in his shoes. Empathy. You learn it first day of social work, right? In grad school, you learn it. Empathy. And I'm putting myself in his shoes, and I just can't understand. I would have been livid. I would have been a good teammate for the most part on the sideline and all that, but I would have been livid.
Well, look, I don't know that that's the case. I don't know that that's the case. You know, let's see. Here's what I do know. Their dynamic seems to be really good. I'm talking about Alex and Davis.
Yeah, me and Gennaro was best friends and roommates.
Seems to be super good.
Me and Gennaro was best friends and roommates. I want to play. What are we talking about? If Denard, you remember, like I saw, we were live in practice, right? And Denard outperformed me a little bit. And so when we get in the game and I'm not getting a chance to play much, I understand that, right? He's proven that he's good enough to play, and he's playing well in this game, like outstanding. Remember UConn? Do you remember UConn? Right, his first game starting. Yeah, I think Alex would be happy but what Alex watched was mediocre quarterback play, right? Just okay quarterback play. You know what I mean? And that's not like I said, first start, all those different things. But he watched okay. I watched Denard light it up. What am I gonna say?
Hey man,
play me.
Here's what's funny. So this dude just said, so Sam is team more than DG is team Orji.
I'm team, and I hate to say this because life isn't fair. I'm team fair though.
I'm team win.
I am too. Yeah,
I'm team win. So it's funny. Here's why I'm laughing, because some dude came on my message board.
We can do that. I'll be on Orji and you on Warren. Let's go.
No.
Let's go. That's like when I was with JJ and you was with Cade. Yeah.
Hell no. You're not about to do that, brother. You're not about to do that.
Yeah. Hey, chat. Get in the chat and tell us. Chat, tell us the truth. Wasn't our team JJ and he was team Cade?
No. You're not gonna do that, brother.
Yeah, boy.
You're not gonna put that on me,
buddy.
Not gonna put that on me.
Don't you wish that evil on me? Don't you wish that evil on my kids? Don't put that evil on me
at all. No, but the dude came on the board last night and said, "Yeah, he's been on Team Orji since the beginning.
Who said that?
Never supported
about you?
Yeah, never supported Davis ever." I'm like, what are you talking about? Where does that come from? Simply because I said they got to figure out, if they run the football, if they cannot run the football, how are they going to account for how they deal with that extra defender? That might be playing Davis more snaps. That might be playing Alex more snaps. And because of that,
yeah, see, Sam, if you're Team Orji, they've never heard you interview Davis
Warren on the radio. Right. It's like, oh my God.
No, you Team Warren and I'm Team Orji.
People project.
You interviewed them both in the last few months.
I interviewed them both.
Where you Team Orji? No, you Team Cade.
I'm team.
You really Team Cade first.
No,
and then you keep Team Davis.
No, I'm not. I'm Team Win. I'm Team Win. Whatever it takes to win is what I am. Let's do that. Let's figure that. What puts them in the best position to win?
Team Cade.
That's what I want to see.
Team Cade.
We need to wrap this up. I think I got all of the main.
What you got
questions.
to do, Sam? You got somewhere to be?
Man, do you know Borges is about to come in here?
Man, come here with stuff all on his shirt.
Borges,
like Borges, you ain't even eat yet.
Hey man, I was doing the film study with Vance. Borges came in eating Doritos in the back of the video, and I was like, Borges, you can't. Chomping in the back of the video. I said, we trying to do.
Borges eat like a donkey, or a horse. You know how like the horse they go sideways, like and stuff be like falling out. He eat like that. Hey, I used to sit next to him during team dinner.
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot because I have asked several guys because DG is he's so big time.
What?
You're so big time now. It's like,
man, I'm here for the people. You trying to leave people. Who big time? He's trying to leave, and I'm sitting here with the people.
You here for the people. So I said DG, because DG, he has his time is precious.
It's limited.
And so I was like, he's still gonna do dimes, but we going film study time is limited. So I said, DG, can we get you to guest star on a couple of film studies this year? I'm asking you publicly on the spot. We asked Tom Brady, and I think Tom Brady's going to come, maybe drop in for maybe one. So can we get you to drop in for one or two this year? DG, on a film study, one or two?
When are they?
I don't know. Just
well, if I'm here, I leave like Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
I live Wednesday during the week. Like if I'm here,
maybe the Texas one. Since you've been talking so much about that game, maybe next week you drop in on the film study.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. I can tell you that's a good word to use. It's gonna be interesting because I watched Texas play this week.
Oh, I gotta just put this one up. DG might finally be wrong for the first time. I don't know what the hell he talking about. I just wanted to put that up.
I saw his comment, and then he came back with another comment and said, "I hope he's wrong."
What was he talking about?
In general, because we're gonna be in trouble if Davis can't. You know what I mean? Like all the different things. I hope I'm wrong too. So I'm with you. However,
You've been wrong about something.
What?
You like my wife. She want me to like list it.
Hey,
this is something I don't be sitting keeping track.
Y'all crazy.
I know you've been wrong about something.
In the last 3 years, I have not missed. Period.
Been wrong about something.
Period. Haven't missed the last 3 years.
Wrong about
and
something.
if I have, go ahead. I was right about 2 straps. I was right. Yep. I was right about 2 straps. What else? I'm telling you, I haven't missed it. Ira, can you remember something off the top of your head? If you got to think too hard, then whatever. But like, can you think of someone on the top of your head, Ira, where I like missed?
Just missing on calling somebody by the wrong name. That's about it.
So
I got get the names right.
I got one last one for you.
You,
I got one last one for you because somebody said, "Why is Peyton O'Leary playing that many snaps?" Peyton O'Leary, by all accounts, has insane knowledge of the playbook. He knows every position, knows where to be, solid, reliable, good hands, good size, all of that. The case of Amarion Walker, he spent a year away from basically over a year away from the receiver position. He transferred for a bit. So coming back is not only from the standpoint of now you got to get back used to the fundamentals and techniques of the receiver position, right? So there's that. But then it's not stepping back into the same offense per se, because somebody brought up something earlier. They said the motions and shifts. All of that is different. So the offense isn't completely the same, and that's been part of the talk. So how do you, DG, let's say for the sake of argument that there is a gap there in that piece of it between him and some of the other guys at the receiver position. How do you, as an offense, as a quarterback, are there ways where you can bridge that gap to be able to make his usage, to increase his usage, to make him functional for you?
Who's that?
Offensive. I'm talking about Amarion Walker, because he's
what's
a guy,
his issue?
He's a guy who gives you some size and some speed, just getting back acclimated to the receiver position.
Tell him what to do on every play. If he's talented enough, have a guy on the sideline to tell him exactly what to do and where to line up. Period. Because his offense needs that. It needs somebody with his capability. And I don't know how good he can catch. I don't know how good of a route runner he is. I know he's tall and fast. All right. And if he can catch and he can do all those things, but getting reacclimated has been a struggle where maybe he doesn't know where to line up. Maybe he's not quite adept on the intricacies of the route patterns and whatever. Put him out there. So I remember it was a guy, J.U. Chesson. Remember J.U. Chesson? Mm-hmm. And so you guys remember J.U. Chesson, more of the J.U. Chesson when I left, and he kind of exploded and did really well. Well, J.U. Chesson always showed flashes, right? Fast, pretty tall, athletic. But we couldn't truly depend on him every time. We couldn't depend on him to run curl correctly, right depth all the time. It wasn't like he wasn't smart. He was just young, right? He was just young, hadn't played a lot. J.U. Chesson can get in that slot and run down the field fast as heck and clear out for Jeremy Gallen. Now we got wide open guys, right? And when I talked about the separation, right? Well, that's how you can create some. Dagger. I talk about dagger all the time, my favorite concept. We would put J.U. Chesson in the slot, right? And sprint him down the middle of the field. Ask me a question, Sam. Ask me, have you ever thrown to J.U. Chesson down the middle of the field like that? Ask me.
Have you ever thrown to J.U. Chesson down the middle of the field like that?
No. Ask me another question. Ask me, say, Devin, have you ever even seen do you know if he was ever open? Ask me.
Was he ever open?
I have no idea, because I know that did coming open, because he is blazing through the middle of the defense and the safety batted back up, right? And so you got Dig coming underneath. So there are ways, and then you put him on the outside, throw him a bone every once in a while, right? Throw it up and see what he can do, right? One-on-one coverage or whatever the case may be. If he's the guy, if he's that talented, I don't know, if I've seen him move and I've seen like he can run and all that. And if his hands aren't quite there yet, fine. Watch what you see what the Lions did, right? Kid from Alabama, right? He couldn't catch a cold in the middle of Alaska naked after getting out of the shower. He was awful to begin, right? Guess what? All right, let's put him in and put him in positions to succeed, right? All right, I don't know about him knowing the plays and whatever, but we know for a fact he couldn't catch. He struggled in camp. Put him in position. Give him a reverse, right? Fast in the mug. You don't got to know where to be and all that. Give him a reverse. All right, send him on a deep over where he's wide open. See what he can do with that. Okay, and then you keep spoon feeding him these different things, and then you see he gains confidence. I think he's going to be huge for the Lions this year. I think he's a really good player now, but he, for whatever reason, needed that confidence or whatever the case may be. Maybe he was thinking too much. Take the thinking out for Marion Walker if he can catch and if he's that guy, and use his skills to help the football team, period. Don't be so cocky, because the thing is, we've been able to be so, I don't want to say cocky and arrogant, but I need a synonym that's maybe less harsh because of the offensive line and the Blake Corums of the world and the ability to just push people around. If you can't learn the plays, then you're out. And we could do that because we don't need that. We're not throwing the ball 100 times a game. This isn't LSU to USC. That's not who we are. Now, we're not that team anymore. And that's fine. You can still win. There's plenty of teams that win without running the ball into a loaded box. You can still win. And a part of that is having dynamic athletes, even if they're just decoys, right? So I don't know what the issue is. You said, he's getting acclimated, whatever. Fix it. Help him. Coach him. Fix it. Fix it. Because he has an ability that can scare defenses and help your young quarterback. And even though Davis is older, he's young. And if with a guy like that blowing the top off, it clears out a lot. And
when you say fix it, what do you mean? To me, it's like at least
you heard what I said.
At least
tell him what to do.
At least be a decoy.
Tell him what to do if he don't know. Period. Put a reverse in there and see what he can do with it. Do something. See if he can do it. Now, if he can't, he can't. I'm fine with that too. But you got to know, like same with Orji, you got to find out, man. You got to know. You can't have a dynamic player like that and never find out what he could be and then end up with 4 losses at the end of the season and never knowing. What? I don't think Michigan fans going to be okay with that. I know, and they see him every day in practice, so it's different, but Michigan fans don't. All they see is big, tall, fast. And then they look out on the field and they say, no separation. Holding or not, whoever said that, they see no separation. And it's not to appease the fans, all that, but they have a point, man. They have a point. You have to figure it out. I don't know what the answer is, but you got to figure it out. And if he can't play, then that's fine. He just can't play, right? He's not good enough, which is fine. However, I know he can run fast. Put him in that slot, run down the field, and let that dig come underneath.
Adam Shepard said there's just a couple more. There's 4,000 people in the room. So,
remember this, people. The chat. Sam was trying to leave, y'all. Who was trying to stay?
What the hell? Hey, man, Ira got places to go to.
Ira was trying to stay. Don't you put that evil on.
Ira got a tea time.
Don't you put that evil on.
Ira, I'm trying to help you make your tea time, man.
Ira under the bus.
My tea time is in 2 hours. I have plenty of time.
Hey, y'all see that? Hey, y'all see how Sam doing y'all these years?
Hey, Borges trying to show up. Borges about to show up, man, with his Doritos.
Man, on his shirt. None in the bag. It's just all over his shirt. Hey, and eating them off like this.
And Borges catching strays, Brando catching strays.
Oh, man. Hey, Adam Shepard is back. He said, Sam asked DG about Samaj's ultimate ceiling. He's better than the gadget guy, right?
We don't know. We don't know because, he was a part of the receiving core that didn't create a whole bunch of separation, right? And, when he did get those gadget-type plays, he wasn't able to do a whole bunch with them. It wasn't a lot of space. One of the screens, he has more he could do, but he kind of went inside, and you got to think about this, man. As much as he's super confident and he's brash and all those different things, Samaj ain't played that much football, right? On a down-by-down basis, right? Getting the ball and whatever. He was a guy that played in spurts, and it's easy to do. And he's finding out, I'm sure, and everybody else can see it's different playing every single down, man. It's different, and especially when people know about you as well. And so I think that's another person you got to find a way to get the best out of them. And that's how you do with all players, right? It's not just Samaj. It's not just Omarion Walker. It's not just Davis Warren. It's not just Alex Orji. That's how you, in general, you get the best out. You find out what they're really, really good at, and you lean into that, right? And the things that they aren't good at, you help them work on it, but you stay away from it until they're ready to do it from you working on it. You know what I mean? And so I just think that Samaj is still figuring out how to play college football. I know the brashness and all that made everybody think he was a finished product and ready to go and all that. He's still learning to play college football on a down-by-down basis, and he deserves that grace. The only problem is Texas is coming here tomorrow. Feel like tomorrow, don't it? Feel like they're on the way right now. They're walking from Texas. They'll be here on Saturday.
Vince, film studies are gonna be out Wednesday morning. All right. Be on the lookout for those.
My hands are so ashy. My goodness.
Keep on moving. Man, there's so many comments in here.
Hey, if you want to get yours in, you better repost it or
well,
I don't
Sam,
know what
looks,
you can do.
We did have Amara Darbo's brother in the chat there, Devin. He was asking how his brother was as a freshman since you were talking about JU.
Darbo was nice, dude. I thought Darbo was, because I had Gallon when he was a freshman, but Darbo was one of the most physically gifted. Like early on as a freshman, he struggled some with confidence and wanting to be perfect all the time. But when I tell you, he showed flashes of like, he's going to be the best receiver in the history of football. You know what I mean? I remember one catch he made in third down period, or 2 minutes or something like that on the sideline. And I'm sure Amar Darbo's little brother has seen it because it was like he went up with one hand on the sideline like he would have touched the top of a goalpost. It was unbelievable. And he made plays like that all the time. But when Harbaugh came in, he played well, but it wasn't really a pass happy deal, right? Everybody knows that. And so he didn't really get a chance, I think, to showcase what he could possibly be. And as a result, you get into positions at the next level because of what you did in college, and you have some injuries and it's tough to come back from. But he was unbelievable. He had like forearms, he had like muscles bulging out of his forearms, his catch strength. Like I used to talk to the DBs and, they hated guarding him. And it wasn't just because he could run routes and all that. I mean, that wasn't his super strength. He was good at it, but his strength was at the catch point. No matter what you do, there's nothing you can do to stop him from catching the ball. Man, he was a monster. Terrifying.
Muscles having muscles. That's a scary thing.
I'm telling you, he had muscles on top of his forearm. It was unbelievable. Like he would flex it. I'm like, how are you doing that? And then I started working on my forearms, but I never got it. I think it was genetic. He had that because it was genetically formed in his body. He was supposed to have strong form. He was supposed to just untwist the cap on a lot of stuff.
Your early impressions of Texas, Devin?
Really, really good at football. Really good, comfortable. They look like they just picked up where they left off. And even though they have new pieces, right, the guys that they have on their roster that they replaced the good guys, the really good guys, first round, second round, third round, all that. The guys they replaced them with are really good at football. And then you have a veteran quarterback that's seen a lot, played a lot. He's improved so much since he was young. And then you got an outstanding play caller in Sarkisian. And they've kind of beefed up their defense a little bit, replace some of those guys. They look like a very formidable football team. And I keep saying it. I hate that we have to play them week 2.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be interesting because that USC team looks a lot better.
Who told you that, Sam?
You did. I give you credit. I'm giving you credit.
I told you one, the quarterback was super nice. Now, he even overdid it. Like, I knew he was super nice, but he was like super nice. He was almost perfect in the game. And then put in a position to go win it, outstanding. And then I told you that defense would be much better.
Yeah, it was.
Nailed it again.
It was.
I don't miss.
It was. D'Antlin is gone and giving them a pulse on defense.
He was so poised too throughout the whole game. It was fun to watch.
Giving him a pulse defensively. All right, folks, that is going to do it for the Monday morning quarterback. DG said he may be doing a guest appearance on the film study with Al Borges after the Texas game. Kind of putting you on the spot there a little bit.
Yeah, you can keep doing that, but I don't know. We'll see, man.
We'll see.
I can't be around Borges too long. I can't. It's tough.
We'll see. We're going to be trying to get a few guest stars coming in on the film studies. Those go up Wednesday. We're going to put a few clips on YouTube, but the full episodes will be on the Autograph app. You'll find the link in the description. But
Time out, Sam. I don't know how many people were in when I gave this charge to the Michigan fan base earlier, but I'm going to say it again because a lot of people in here. You need to make sure that you get your public support out for Orji to keep his confidence. Not for him he needs to be the starter, all that, because Davis, is the guy right now. However, at some point in some capacity, we're going to need Alex Orji, and we need him to be confident and believe himself and know that he's enough. So do what you do. The opposite. Usually y'all go just being mean to people for no reason. Go encourage this young man and help him know that the Michigan fan base is behind him, because guess what? he'll help you be happy all season and be able to continue to walk around with your chest out like you have the last 3 years.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of the Monday Morning Quarterback. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you keep showing love to the Monday Morning Quarterback. We'll be back next week, and hopefully we'll be talking about basically, I think they are not favored. I don't think any of the odds makers have Michigan favored in this game.
Yeah,
so
I don't think they should be.
I'm going to call it an upset victory over the Texas Longhorns. So hopefully,
Michigan is about a 6.5 point underdog at home.
That's tough.
Hopefully, that's what we'll be talking about next week. Until then, folks, thanks for watching the Monday Morning Quarterback. We'll see you then.